Okay, I recorded proof 794 from the preface notes. I have about 1,000 proofs of the existence of God. This one might be one of the better ones that I created myself, original. It's hard to be original. A lot of people lose faith in religion or the existence of God or spirituality or metaphysics because they cannot prove the existence of God. So I recorded this one and it wasn't so good. And I recorded it again, but I think I had a cold. Plus the focusing wasn't so good, and I'm trying to make some improvements. But one thing good about it was I was reading fast. Hopefully I'll read this fast. Also, hopefully the lighting is okay. One thing that was not very good was that it wasn't clear how it was a proof of God. That became clear a bit later towards the end, but that's not very good. You should have it at the beginning. So I'm gonna say that now at the beginning, how it is. Plus also it's a very good introduction to philosophy and to science, which are the basis for proving the existence of God in all of the proofs. So this is like an introduction to all the proofs of God, 1,000 proofs of the existence of God. Okay, and first I have a preface note. This is about proof 794 out of 1,000. Okay, so I have a preface note. Plus I listed all the people that I mentioned in this proof. Some of them I mentioned many times. I mentioned them at the beginning. Now I listed them. That might help to prepare you to know what's coming ahead. This is already typed. It's about 25 pages. I typed it on October 13, 2012, and in October 15, 2012. This proof probably created before that, but it's pretty recent. So anyway, it's typed, so it's easier to read. I can go fast. Okay, well, let's see if we can do it better. Today you don't even have to publish. You can put stuff on YouTube, and it goes all over the world. I even heard that like Olivia Newton-John, I think, has a concert on YouTube. So she's a professional singer, obviously a superstar. And yet, so YouTube is not just for anybody. I mean, anybody can put it, but even important stuff is put on YouTube. And somebody told me that you can actually get paid for it, even if they put a lot of commercials. Because if there's a lot of people who view it. I'm not sure, but I think even on Saturday they had W5, and they said that if you missed an episode, then you can watch it on YouTube also. That's from CTV, from Montreal. Okay, today is like April 12, 2017, about 9:20 p.m., 9:21. It's Wednesday. This Friday is going to be Good Friday, the Last Supper of Jesus, crucifixion. Saturday says the burial, and Sunday night is the resurrection of Jesus on Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday is my birthday, actually. I'll be 57 years old. This Friday I celebrate 10 years since I left the Jewish General Hospital. Okay, so I'll try and go fast, but try and make it better than before. It was very good before, but let's see if I can make it better. Okay, hopefully it'll be better. Okay, so this is Proof of God 794, preface note, about 25 pages typed. So handwritten would be more. Okay. Preface, note. Okay. What training do you need, or what are the prerequisites for this divine science? Question mark. Do you need a university degree in advanced mathematics and a university degree in philosophy? Question mark. Does EG use many methods of mathematics which are spread over many courses of advanced mathematics? Also, religion and philosophy, that's metaphysics, are the original forms of divine science in the age before the scientific age began. Since divine science uses the science of mathematics and the results of the sciences, first the science of physics was created, beginning in a major way with Isaac Newton, and later the sciences of medicine, psychology, and sociology began, though they are sciences in a different sense. Both kinds of sciences use experimentation, but different kinds since they have different designs and analyze differently. Okay. In the science of physics, we use the mathematical calculus, advanced calculus, and very advanced calculus to create laws and theories based on the data of the experiments. And as Albert Einstein says, their goal is to be able to use the laws to predict the behavior of objects in the future or the past. But in medicine or psychology or sociology, the mathematical theory of probability and statistics is used simply to justify that the differences between the treated groups or treated group and the control group or the same group measured several times with some quality did not occur by random chance. Well, somebody told me that actually this method of physics is actually also used in medicine or psychology also. Well, but it's not as advanced yet. Maybe it's just beginning. They don't really use calculus in medicine or psychology yet. In engineering, they make you take more courses in calculus now, unlike before. So, for example, for mathematics, see our list of about 2,000 methods of reasoning that can be used, which may be classified into 200 or 300 more super methods of reasoning. These include fields like arithmetic, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, differential equations, systems of differential equations, partial differential equations, nonlinear differential equations, probability, statistics, combinatorics, optimization, operations, research, numerical analysis, integral equations, non-Euclidean geometry, nonlinear algebra, abstract algebra, topology, differential geometry, real analysis, vector calculus, complex analysis, tensor calculus, etc. Well, the calculus was invented by Newton, or some say Leibniz, about over 300 years ago. And well, Newton is considered to be one of the greatest mathematicians of all time. Him, Archimedes, and Gauss. Many of these fields here would fall under calculus or advanced calculus, really. Like, for example, complex analysis or differential equations or integral equations. That would be under advanced calculus or intermediate calculus. Many fields, there's many more. Surprisingly, recently I heard that in the newspaper that they did a study, and even university students were found to have trouble with arithmetic, which is the simplest kind of mathematics. Many people don't even study calculus. I think even doctors study basic calculus, maybe 2 courses on it, and they don't finish all the fields of calculus even. And then they don't really use it. I mean, in everyday clinical work, usually they use arithmetic just to see if the value is within range or not. And if some of them do research, then they might use statistics, which is discrete. They don't even use discrete values, not continuous variables. And the analysis of the data will probably be done by a mathematician or statistician, not the doctor himself. Okay. Even though really there are software packages to help you do statistical analysis. I think I added a clock there, so the counter tells you how many minutes you, so it's good. It's the first time I did that. Okay, so, and also computer science added sorting and searching data and control mechanisms to repeat operations if necessary, and synchronize operations and data structures and file structure designs to hold the data for short-term or long-term processing. Also, artificial intelligence symbolic reasoning is possible since, for example, programmers added the syllogistic method of inference of Aristotle logic, etc. Or maybe more, also Frege's version of it. Well, artificial intelligence is basically you don't have to supply the instructions of reasoning or methods. You only supply the data and the question mostly. Unlike conventional computer programming, where you have to actually provide the instructions, because the computer only has basic instructions, Boolean logic and arithmetic, basically, and how to do that, basic things like that. So, okay, so a few notes here. This is a very long proof. I also have a proof number 950, which is based on the expansion of the universe, inspired by Hubert Reeves. It's a bit longer, so I'm not going to discuss that one. Okay, so this is a good introduction to philosophy and to science, and it goes beyond it. This may be a proof of God based. This proof of God may be based on proving free will, that it is possible, or even proving that free will is a reality. Because a lot of people, even Aristotle, many people gave arguments against free will, which I criticize. And a lot of people didn't believe in free will. It was Spinoza, Maimonides, Averroes, I think, Einstein. But free will is a prerequisite for religion and morality. Kant tried to prove the existence of free will in the third antinomy of his Critique of Pure Reason. And he said that we cannot prove it or disprove it, so that it is possible. Okay, so this might be a proof of God based on free will, because free will is important, okay, for religion and all that. Okay, so that's where it is. Well, anyway, it's also an introduction, like I said, to science and philosophy. Okay, so here this is. Okay, so now the proofs start. Proof of God number 794 by Joseph Bitton, etc. Okay, so here. Well, I just mentioned Frege, I should add that, but I mentioned, for example, in this proof, Aristotle, Maimonides, Galileo, Spinoza, Averroes, Darwin, Kant, Newton, Einstein, Zade, Moses, Abraham, Aquinas, Pascal, Boole, Babbage, Eckhart and Mauchly, Turing, von Neumann, Descartes, Michelson, Morley, Hume, Gödel, Augustine, Al-Farabi, Darwin, I mentioned Darwin already, and Oliver Newton-John, and Maxwell, Hertz, and Mendelssohn, and Witten, and Bohr, Dirac, Heisenberg, Coulomb, Born, Schrödinger, and Gene Roddenberry. Basically, that's what I meant. Some of them I mentioned, like I said, many times. Okay, so start. Okay, so proof of God. Okay, so this I created it though, with all their help, Joseph Bitton. Okay, supernote. Nature of God. They say that God must be known or they say that God cannot be known or cannot be defined at all. And Benedict Spinoza still defined God as the substance that is infinite in attributes and infinite in degree of attributes and conceived through itself. And that then he went on to prove the existence of this God in several short proofs and to discuss its nature. In a way, his whole book's called The Ethics is a description of this God, since for Spinoza everything in the universe exists in God as modifications of his attributes. Since this is completely unlike the God of Aristotle, Maimonides, and others who saw God as existing totally separate from the world, and his conception of God was a major revolution in metaphysics. Indeed, like Aristotle saw God as being a simple, immutable being outside time, which is different kind of being from us, so Spinoza saw God as an infinite substance, which is different kind from us, also, since we were mere modes in the substance of God. Okay, this is a completely different view. The Aristotelians, like for 2,000 years, saw God as separate from the world. Actually, Maimonides' whole guide is a book about God. There are 3 volumes there, or 3 parts about God, and he actually developed the philosophy of Aristotle, because he said